Ukrainian military releases footage of Russian troops killing civilians in Donetsk Oblast, and Ukraine's retaliation. Ukraine's 63rd Separate Mechanized Brigade released video footage on July 22nd that allegedly shows Russian troops shooting and killing a civilian riding a bicycle in the frontline village of Torske in Donetsk Oblast. Soldiers with the 63rd Brigade recorded the shooting and their subsequent retaliation against the 3 Russian soldiers involved in the murder. The Russians shot a civilian in Torske deliberately and with intent to kill, the brigade wrote in Telegram post accompanying the video. The footage shows a person riding a bicycle down a village road before being ambushed by military personnel hiding in the nearby trees. After the rider falls, 3 soldiers emerge onto the road. One shoots the rider point blank. Ukrainian drone pilots and gunners eliminated the 3 Russian personnel responsible for the killing, the 63rd Brigade reported. The rest of the video depicts the successful strikes against the soldiers. No court was needed. Instant karma worked, the brigade wrote. Numerous cases of Russian troops murdering or abusing civilians have surfaced since the start of Moscow's full-scale invasion in 2022. Ukrainian prosecutors and monitoring groups have documented mounting instances of Russian forces executing Ukrainian prisoners of war, POWs, in a systematic violation of the Geneva Convention. In November 2024, Russian soldiers shot and killed a civilian woman in the frontline village of Terny in Donetsk Oblast. Meanwhile, Russian troops enter Pokrovsk, Ukrainian search and destroy operation ongoing. Russian troops have entered the frontline city of Pokrovsk in Donetsk Oblast. The open-source battlefield monitoring group Deep State and soldiers on the ground said on July 22nd. Pokrovsk, situated around 67 kilometers or 41 miles northwest of Russian-occupied Donetsk, has emerged as one of the fiercest hotspots in the Kremlin's ongoing offensive in eastern Ukraine. Speaking to the Kiev Independent on condition of anonymity, a member of a Ukrainian drone team working out of Pokrovsk reported that Russian soldiers had made it into the city limits, though it wasn't clear if they had managed to dig in. According to Deep State, Russian forces managed to penetrate the city from the direction of Zvirovy a few days earlier after exploiting weakened Ukrainian infantry positions and inaccurate situational reporting. The breach reportedly prompted an urgent response from Ukrainian units to prevent the situation from spiraling into disaster. Russian units attempted to entrench themselves and gain control over defenders of Ukraine's street, Deep State said. Some of them have been killed, others are still being hunted. The search and destruction of these groups is still ongoing. The group noted that Ukrainian forces suffered casualties in the ongoing cleanup operation, with incidents of friendly fire reported due to a lack of clear intelligence on the Russian troops' movements and locations. Deep State warned that reports on such infiltration attempts should be approached with caution and confirmed data. Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Alexander Sersky said on July 18 that Ukrainian troops were steadfastly defending Pokrovsk from repeated Russian infantry assaults. In June, Sersky described the embattled city as the hottest spot along the entire 1,200-kilometer front line. According to Sersky, Russian troops continue to rely on small infantry groups to probe Ukrainian defenses, but have so far failed to gain control of the city. He warned that Russian troops are attempting to sever logistics routes from the northern city of Dobropilya and noted that Russian forces had massed over 110,000 troops in the area by early summer. Pokrovsk remains a strategic target for Russia as it seeks to advance further into Donetsk Oblast and potentially threaten neighboring Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. Recently, Russia to spend $1.1 trillion preparing for upcoming large-scale war. Ukraine's intel chief says Russia plans to spend around $1.1 trillion on rearmament over the next 11 years in preparation for a potential large-scale war. Ukraine's military intelligence chief Krylo Budanov said on July 22nd. Moscow has launched its most ambitious weapons program since the collapse of the Soviet Union, according to Budanov. Russia is reportedly mobilizing all sectors of society to support its military buildup. There is a total mobilization of politics, economy, and society of the Russian Federation to be ready for the upcoming large-scale war, Budanov said during the annual meeting of Ukrainian ambassadors. As part of this reform, Russia has already created 2 new military districts, Moscow and Leningrad, and is preparing to form additional divisions and military units. Budanov said that the Kremlin's goal is not just regional domination, but a reshaping of the global order. Moscow's goal is to impose on countries its own vision of the future world order, where big states, primarily the Russian Federation, have full power, a monopoly on all critical resources, and decide the fate of the world in a closed circle, Budanov said. His comments follow a growing number of warnings from Western intelligence services about Russia's long-term military buildup. Last year, German intelligence chief Bruno Kahl said that Moscow will have the military capabilities to attack NATO by 2030. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said on April 30th that Russia is prepared to scale up its war effort to the levels last seen in World War II, claiming millions of civilians are supporting the military by donating supplies and equipment.